Hey coin lovers! Welcome to the Worth Old Coins channel, your place to discover the hidden value and rare facts about old coins. In today's video we're revealing the top 3 valuable coins, and one of them might just be in your collection. So don't skip this video, let's find out their real worth. Top 1. The United States 5-cent coin of 1979, commonly called the nickel, was part of the Jefferson nickel series that had been in circulation since 1938. By 1979, the design had already been used for over 4 decades, making it one of the most familiar coins in America. The Jefferson nickel is named after the nation's third president, Thomas Jefferson, whose profile adorns the obverse side. The obverse design of the 1979 nickel was created by German-American sculptor Felix Schlag. His winning design from a 1938 contest replaced the buffalo nickel and introduced a more modern and refined portrait of Jefferson. By 1979, Schlag's design was still in use, showing Jefferson facing left with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," to the left, "Liberty," to the right, and the year 1979 also on the right. On the reverse side of the coin is Jefferson's home Monticello, an architectural masterpiece designed by Jefferson himself in Charlottesville, Virginia. This design emphasizes Jefferson's legacy not only as a political leader and writer of the Declaration of Independence, but also as an architect and innovator. The image of Monticello on the 1979 nickel is detailed yet simple, showing the neoclassical dome and pillars. The inscriptions on the reverse include E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one, which has been a Central American motto since the founding era. Beneath Monticello is the word Monticello, followed by 5 cents, and at the bottom the issuing country's name, United States of America. This combination of inscriptions reflects America's national identity, unity, and Jefferson's place in its history. The technical specifications of the 1979 nickel are identical to all nickels minted since 1866 in the modern composition. It weighs 5.00 grams, has a diameter of 21.21 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.95 millimeters. Its composition is 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it the characteristic silver-like color despite having no actual silver. The edge is smooth, unlike dimes and quarters, which have reeded edges. The 1979 nickel was produced at 3 U.S. mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Philadelphia and Denver coins were made for circulation, while San Francisco produced proof coins for collectors. Mint marks are located to the right of Monticello on the reverse side. For example, a 1979 D nickel was minted in Denver, while a 1979 S proof nickel came from San Francisco. The mintage numbers for the 1979 nickel were very high, as America's economy required massive amounts of circulating coins. Philadelphia struck over 463 million nickels, Denver struck around 325 million, and San Francisco made over 3 million proof coins. These figures ensured that the 1979 nickel was common in circulation, and many are still found in pocket change today. From a historical perspective, the 1979 nickel represents the stability of U.S. coinage. While other denominations such as the dollar coin saw major redesigns in 1979, e.g. the Susan B. Anthony dollar launched that year, the nickel remained unchanged. This continuity reflects the coin's enduring acceptance and usefulness in American commerce. The cultural importance of the nickel lies in its place as an everyday coin. By 1979, nickels were widely used for small purchases, vending machines, and parking meters. Children often collected them for allowance money, and they were essential in making change. Though worth only 5 cents, the nickel was a cornerstone of American daily life, bridging small transactions between pennies, dimes, and quarters. The portrait of Jefferson, chosen in 1938 and still in use in 1979, was intended to honor not just a founding father, but also a man whose ideals shaped the country. Jefferson's authorship of the Declaration of Independence and his vision of a democratic republic made him a fitting figure for a coin that circulated widely among the people. His appearance on the 5-cent coin reflects his reputation as a leader of common citizens. The depiction of Monticello on the reverse highlights Jefferson's architectural genius. Jefferson designed Monticello himself, drawing inspiration from classical Roman and Renaissance architecture. By placing Monticello on the nickel, the coin links Jefferson's personal life and creativity with the nation's broader cultural heritage. For Americans in 1979, Monticello was both a historic site and a reminder of Jefferson's lasting contributions. The phrase, E pluribus unum, on the reverse carried particular weight in the late 20th century, as America in 1979 faced cultural shifts, economic challenges, and political tensions. The motto served as a reminder of unity amid diversity. Every nickel bore this message, reinforcing the idea that despite differences, the United States was one nation. Top 2. The 1970 1970 Jefferson nickel is one of the standard 5-cent coins struck in the United States during the year 1970. It belongs to the Jefferson nickel series that had already been circulating for over 3 decades by that time. Unlike quarters, dimes, and half dollars of the late 1960s and early 1970s, which underwent changes in composition due to the removal of silver, the nickel remained unchanged, continuing with its copper-nickel alloy. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, who served from 1801 to 1809. The design shows Jefferson facing left with the inscription, "In God We Trust," to the left of his profile. On the right side, the word "Liberty" appears, followed by a star, and the date 1970 beneath the date is the mint mark D, indicating that the coin was minted in Denver, Colorado. The reverse side of the coin is dominated by a depiction of Jefferson's famous Virginia estate Monticello. Designed in a neoclassical style, Monticello was Jefferson's architectural masterpiece and became an iconic symbol of his personal life and creativity. Above Monticello on the coin are the words "E pluribus unum," meaning "out of many one." Below the building is the word Monticello, followed by the denomination 5 cents, and finally, United States of America. The design of the Jefferson nickel, including the 1970 version, was created by Felix Schlag, a German-born sculptor who won a design contest in 1938. His design replaced the popular Buffalo nickel, and while the Buffalo design was beloved, Schlag's portrait of Jefferson and depiction of Monticello were chosen to represent a more refined classical look appropriate for the mid-20th century. By 1970, Schlag's design had become one of the most recognizable in U.S. coinage. The technical specifications of the 1970 nickel are standard for all nickels of that period. It weighs 5 grams, has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.95 millimeters. Its composition is an alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a durable combination that resists wear and gives the coin its silvery appearance despite containing no actual silver. The edge of the coin is plain, smooth, rather than reeded. The Denver Mint struck over 515 million Jefferson nickels in 1970, making the 1970 issue a very common coin. Because of this high mintage, most examples hold little premium value unless they are in uncirculated condition with exceptional details. Circulated pieces are worth only face value, 5 cents. While mint state coins with strong strikes can attract interest from collectors, one of the key aspects that collectors look for in Jefferson nickels, including the 1970 is the presence of full steps on Monticello. This term refers to the clarity of the steps at the base of Monticello on the reverse. If all 6 steps are fully struck and visible without interruption, the coin is said to have full steps designation. These coins are rare for many years, including 1970 due to generally weaker strikes from worn dies. The full steps variety greatly increases the value of a Jefferson nickel. While a normal 1970 nickel in mint condition may only be worth a few dollars to collectors, a full steps example can fetch significantly higher prices, sometimes hundreds of dollars depending on grade. This makes the hunt for full steps nickels an important pursuit for serious Jefferson nickel enthusiasts. The historical context of 1970 also adds interest to this coin. The United States was in a turbulent period marked by the Vietnam War, the civil rights movement, and social changes. While these events did not directly influence the coin's design, they provide the cultural backdrop against which the 1970 nickel circulated. Everyday coins like this nickel were silent witnesses to a transformative decade in American life. The design symbolism of the coin reflects Jefferson's enduring legacy. His profile on the obverse represents his leadership as president and his intellectual contributions, particularly as the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Monticello on the reverse showcases his personal achievement as an architect and innovator, linking his political vision with his creative pursuits. In terms of minting technology, the Denver Mint in 1970 was equipped with high-speed presses capable of producing millions of coins per day. Despite advances, strike quality varied, and many coins show weak details, particularly on Monticello's steps. This explains why full steps examples are rare and why most nickels from that year appear less sharp compared to other series like dimes and quarters. The 1970 nickel also holds value as a piece of continuity. While many U.S. coins saw design changes or composition adjustments in the 1960s and 1970s, the nickel remained consistent. This stability made it a familiar and trusted coin for Americans, widely used in vending machines, transit systems, and everyday purchases. Top 3. The 1973 Jefferson nickel belongs to the Jefferson nickel series, which began in 1938 and replaced the beloved Buffalo nickel. By the year 1973, this series had been circulating for 35 years and had become one of the most familiar coins in American pockets. The Jefferson nickel, like the 1973 issue, honors Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. His legacy of leadership, intellectual brilliance, and contributions to America's foundation make him one of the most respected figures in U.S. history, and his portrait on the nickel is a constant reminder of his impact. On the obverse front of the 1973 nickel is Jefferson's portrait designed by Felix Schlag. Jefferson is shown facing left with his hair tied back in the style of the late 18th century. To the left of his profile is the motto, "In God We Trust," symbolizing the religious and cultural heritage of the nation. On the right side of the coin appears the word "Liberty," followed by the date 1973. Depending on where the coin was minted, a small mintmark letter, D for Denver or S for San Francisco proof issues, may be seen just below the date. Coins from Philadelphia in 1973 carry no mintmark, which was standard practice for that mint at the time. The reverse back of the coin is centered on Jefferson's home Monticello, located in Virginia. This neoclassical mansion, designed by Jefferson himself, represents not only his personal life, but also his talents as an architect, inventor, and thinker. Above Monticello is the Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many one, which reflects America's unity as a nation composed of diverse states and people. Beneath the image of Monticello are the inscriptions, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. The reverse design has remained virtually unchanged from its introduction in 1938 until the early 2000s, giving it a sense of historical continuity. The technical specifications of the 1973 nickel are the same as other nickels of its era. The coin has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, a thickness of 1.95 millimeters, and a weight of 5 grams. It is made of a copper-nickel alloy consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel, which gives it its silvery color. The edge is smooth rather than reeded. Despite its silver-like appearance, the coin contains no actual silver. The mintage of the 1973 nickel was extremely high, as the denomination was heavily used in commerce at the time. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 384 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced about 261 million pieces, making the 1973 D the second largest issue of the year. The San Francisco Mint contributed roughly 4.76 million proof coins, which were sold in special sets for collectors rather than released into circulation. With such massive mintages, the 1973 nickel is not considered rare, but condition and strike quality play major roles in determining collector value. One of the most important aspects of Jefferson nickel collecting is the presence of full steps, FS, on Monticello. This refers to the clarity of the steps on the building's base, which are often poorly struck due to the limitations of the coin's design and the minting equipment. For the 1973 nickel, full steps examples are scarce, particularly in higher mint state grades. Coins with fully visible steps can be worth many times more than normal uncirculated examples, making them highly prized by dedicated collectors. The historical context of 1973 adds an interesting layer to this coin. America was experiencing a period of significant change, with the Vietnam War winding down, the Watergate scandal shaking public trust, and inflation beginning to affect the economy. In this environment, everyday coins like the nickel played an important role in commerce, even as their real purchasing power slowly eroded. In 1973, a nickel could still buy small items such as a payphone call candy or part of a newspaper cost, reminders of a time when coins had more day-to-day utility. The design symbolism of the Jefferson nickel reflects America's values. Jefferson's portrait represents leadership, independence, and the spirit of innovation, while Monticello reflects his vision of balance between classical ideals and American progress. Together, the obverse and reverse images capture both the public and private legacy of Jefferson, linking the coin not just to economic activity but also to cultural memory. The 1973 Jefferson nickel was struck during a period of technological growth at the U.S. Mint. The Denver and Philadelphia facilities used modern high-speed coin presses that allowed them to produce millions of coins per day. However, quality control challenges meant that weak strikes were common, particularly on Monticello's steps. This explains why full steps examples from this year are rare and why most circulated coins appear worn or lack detail. In terms of collector value, most circulated 1973 nickels are worth only face value, 5 cents. Uncirculated examples may bring modest premiums, especially if they are graded MS 65 or higher. Proof coins from San Francisco are more valuable due to their limited numbers, mirror-like surfaces, and collector demand. However, the real standout coins are those with full steps designation, which can command high prices at auctions depending on grade and strike quality. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.